Alright guys, I'm here back with more Far Cry. What are we doing right now? Oh yeah, it's right in front of us, so we might as well just do it. Fuck. That was just me being dumb. I don't know what the fuck I was doing there.
I don't either. That's not the reason I think Memphis is likely to go home. I don't think I have any scenarios, or very few scenarios, where Enzo puts Memphis on the block.
He would vote against it if somebody else put it on the block.
Yes. That's where Memphis goes home. So I'm not counting on Enzo to take out Memphis in the triple. I'm looking at other people who are likely to do that. And more importantly, even if he does survive the triple,
Try this again.
Enzo wants nothing to do with Memphis. He doesn't want to bring him to the end.
Well, I mean, actually, we might not try again because it's not going to be in a good position anymore. Alright, so let's just head here. What was this? Oh, that's... okay. All those missions are in this area?
He even seems to prefer Christmas to Memphis to some degree. And so I'm
okay, so let's activate that mission.
Being a target of Enzo's, and being a target is fine, but like, if Tyler's in the game, he's going after Memphis. If Nicole's in the game, she's going after Memphis. If Enzo's in the game, he's probably going after Memphis. His end game is in ruins. He took a huge gamble with Enzo, trying to bring Enzo in, and Enzo ratted out the wise guys to Cody. Cody has ratted out both versions of the wise guys to Nicole. Nicole wants Memphis out. Like, this end game is in shambles, and even if he doesn't go home in the triple, Christmas probably will. And losing Christmas is real bad for Memphis, especially because Enzo doesn't want to work with him. So I think that this is really not looking good for Memphis. He's going to need the right combination of things to happen, and some really clutch comp wins, in my opinion, to move forward, because again, his entire game gambled on the maneuverings, and I think he made the right moves. I do. I think strategically, he's got a great head for this game, and he made the right calls in the right places on a strategic level, but he chose the wrong person. Enzo isn't into it. Enzo should be into it. This should be working, but it's not, and because of that.
Well, I can say that some people who obviously bought Memphis in the chat were not happy with your score. You can thank me and Melissa.
Well, they're probably not going to be happy with the audience score either. It was close, but they went with a 6 for Memphis overall.
I just feel like I don't know, I don't see Memphis leaving in this triple, and so I do think he has, like, the ability, I feel like I have the, I feel like I see him moving past this week and also doing well further than that. Like, and also, if we are going to talk about, like, well, he has to win some comps, like, he has done that. I mean, he's had a history of doing that, so I do see, like, it's not like, you know, David or someone where we're like, well, we've never seen him win a comp, but hopefully he wins this week. Like, Memphis has been winning a ton. So I do think that, like, I have more faith that, like, if he is put up on the block or whatever for this triple, that he wins a comp and saves himself, or that he wins HOH. Like, I just feel like I do see a situation where he moves forward and he, you know, like, does well in the future. But, I mean...
That's okay, Melissa. I've seen this before. I remember being on the podcast with Taryn and Sharifa, where Sharifa was like, "I just don't feel it I feel it in my gut," and Taryn was like, "Well, you know, I can show you this," and then it ultimately, you know, it's a different way to look at the show. You and I are in agreement that we do not feel that there is a universe where Memphis is going to leave on Thursday night, and that he has legs to make
sure we have
Taryn, on the other hand,
everything.
You know, he gave us a list of reasons why he doesn't feel that way, but that hasn't changed my mind though. So I'm with you.
Well, so
Tara's like, wait. Let me change your mind now.
Just because you're saying you can't see the scenarios.
I can see it. I just like
I just don't feel it.
There are two people who are gunning to evict Memphis in the triple eviction.
Yes.
Nicole and David. Both of them would put Memphis on the block if they won, and both of them have 2 chances to win, and in both scenarios, Memphis has a chance to go home. In the Nicole scenario, Memphis is going home unless he wins the veto. In the David scenario, Memphis will go home if Danny wins the veto. If Danny is already gone, then Memphis just straight up goes home, unless he wins the veto in the David scenario. So those are the biggest scenarios where Memphis
Tyler,
goes home.
if
Then there
Danny
are
is gone.
scenarios where Enzo wins HOH in the second part, and maybe Danny's already gone, and maybe he puts up Memphis and Christmas or something like that. So there are. That's where those come from. I'm not like for the people. Like I'm not making those numbers up. Yeah.
Listen, no, I said you had reasons. Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I'm not discounting the reasons or the logic. I just two different ways to look at it. I guess here's the thing. I've been disappointed about the way things have gone on Big Brother this year, and usually like if things go a certain way, they just keep going that way. And Memphis has had such a magic carpet ride this whole season. I feel like it's just going to continue for him, but maybe not. We'll see.
All right. Well, moving on. Let's talk about Nicole Franzel. Brent,
Can we start with I was going to say, can we start with the audience?
Okay.
Because
They're always going to be
they're
low.
always down on Franzel. I'm curious about what they say this time.
Well, last week the audience gave Nicole a 5.
Yes.
This week they gave her a 6.
Well, good job, audience.
Well, I'm confused because I don't feel as good about her.
Me neither.
Like, I feel like that is the one time
was
that I've been like,
Right? Okay, go ahead, Melissa. Yeah, we all have stuff to say.
Yeah, I just feel like it's like she had Danny in her corner essentially. Like, I mean, yes, obviously, like we said, there's the planting seeds and doing other stuff, but overall, I feel like Danny is someone who wouldn't turn on Nicole and put her on the block up front. Maybe she'd vote her out, maybe, but like, she's one person that she has on her side, and I feel like Nicole is kind of throwing that away. I feel like she's made some bad moves, and I'm not as confident in her right now. I mean, obviously, who knows what's going to happen? The triple's coming up, you know, next week, who knows? But I just feel like I don't feel as good about her positioning this week,
in the afternoon, work on my final jury ranking.
I guess, like,
I'm not looking forward to that, but whatever.
I think
3 hours, like 2 hours and 45 minutes of raw audio.
Like, I mean, maybe I'll just stick with my 6. I know people are like, well, don't you write this down beforehand? No, I'm an in the moment rater, so sorry. And that's why it's always hard when I go first, because I feel like one of my favorite things to do is have you guys give your 2 opposing arguments, usually opposing, and then I get to pick which one of them I agree with more, and which one vibes with what I've been feeling, and then, you know, kind of go from there. But in this situation,
destroy the control box at the top of the tower. Don't care how you do it, as long as it shoots.
Sorry, guys. I'm like sitting here like.
That's not right.
I mean, we can go if you want arguments.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. Give me your arguments. Try and convince me.
Okay.
Brent, what do you think?
Helicopter.
Well, here's the thing. I understand that she's definitely stepping on her toes by targeting Danny, being okay with Danny going. But honestly, I feel like Danny is so radioactive at this point that it's probably in Nicole's best interest not to fight that at all. So I don't really particularly feel like that's a terrible move on her part. Now, if she gets lucky and Danny stays in the house, all the better. Add to that the fact that I do feel like that people are looking at her as a potential to take at least to the Final Four. And though she hasn't had good luck with the competition so far, I still feel like she's got it in her to win one of these down the stretch here, especially when they tend to favor people more like her. Hopefully they're not that physical. I gave her, what did I give her? I gave her a 7 last time. I'm going to stick with my 7. I feel like Frenzel's got it in her to make a run at this, and I don't see her leaving on Thursday. I know there are a few scenarios, maybe, that she could end up on the block, and possibly something could go horribly wrong, but, you know, no one's really coming for her. Everyone else has other targets in mind, like Memphis, or Christmas, or Danny, or David. No one's really coming for Franzel.
Okay.
She's got Cody in her corner big time. He's been the kingmaker in this season.
True.
Yes. I'm not quite a 7. I am dropping her from the 7 down to a 6. And the reason for that is that there are Tyler and Christmas in particular. They want Danny out first, but we talked about it. Danny's very likely to go on Thursday, and as soon as she does, Christmas and Tyler are both gunning for Nicole next. Nicole is the next big target for them. That's not good for Nicole, especially because with Danny gone, Nicole has basically nobody except for Cody. Now, the one thing that Nicole has in her favor that Memphis now doesn't is that Enzo seems to be Team Nicole, and that he is putting his eggs in the Cody and Nicole basket instead of the Christmas and Memphis basket, and that's good for Nicole. But beyond, Enzo's not willing to stick his neck out to protect Nicole. Tyler was just talking to Enzo about, like, Nicole has to go. It has to be both Danny and Nicole, and they were talking about the triple. They were talking about, like, this week, let's get Kevin, Danny, Nicole, all three of them gone. And Enzo's like, that's what I'm saying, yo. That's it. He's not going to stick his neck out to protect Nicole, but I don't think he'll go after Nicole, which is important. So that's okay there, but, like, just her end game in general, without Danny,
Did I lose the helicopter?
very few people left. She's completely lost Christmas. She doesn't have Tyler. She doesn't have Memphis. She definitely doesn't have David. I think David would go after Nicole too. So that's where the danger is. She's higher than Christmas and Memphis because
I need a wingsuit?
she's
I'm
less
pretty sure
likely
I
to go
have
in the
just
triple,
enough.
and she's less likely to go after the triple. She's more likely to squeeze into the
Am I wrong?
end game somewhere
wrong?
where she may be able to pull off what she was able to do in Big Brother 18, but not that much higher because she's still fairly likely to go, and she still has a pretty tough path to the end, especially with, like, who she's going to be sitting next to in the final two. So that's where I'm at with Nicole. Melissa.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you guys, but I guess I'm tempted to go to the 5 just because I do think Danny's going out this week, and I think that is bad for Nicole. I think, number one, she loses an ally, and number two, like you said, I think that she's next in line for some people. So I am a little concerned about that. I know she's got Cody, but Cody's got so many other people that Nicole doesn't really have. I mean, yes, tangentially or whatever, people are like, I'm not going to go after Nicole or whatever, but she doesn't have anyone. And for the longest time, I did think that she had Danny, and now I'm like, okay, number one, maybe she doesn't have Danny, and number two, Danny's probably going anyway, so, like, you know, what does that leave her with? So, yeah, I'm going to give her a 5. Hopefully she can pick it up next week.
There you go. Finally, let's talk about Tyler. Brent, you can go first with Tyler.
All right. So I gave Tyler a 7 last week, and I was between a 5 and a 6 this week. And I will tell you the reason why, because as I alluded to earlier on the podcast, he has been so laissez-faire, or as RuPaul's Drag Race would say, flazé-da, about his endgame possibilities here. He's absolutely doing nothing. I'm still so bummed that he apparently learned the wrong lesson from Big Brother 20 in that he didn't want to make too many final 2 deals with people, and that wasn't his problem on Big Brother 20. It really wasn't. And again, he only lost by 1 vote. Like, come on. Like, it wasn't like it was like a massive mistake. And he's done none of that this time. I don't think there's one person besides Christmas, but she's, you know, repelled from him because of his apparent quit during the Bailey week, that was thinking about, or was under the impression that they were going to the final 2 with Tyler. Cody doesn't think that Tyler's going to take him to the final 2. Enzo doesn't think Tyler's going to take him to the final 2. These people are, if they're not coming for him now, they're going to be coming for him soon. He hasn't done anything. Now, he could turn it on, but the guy that I've seen over the past 3 weeks is just not the guy that I saw 2 years ago and was literally impressed by and gave multiple 10s to. So, man, like, I had to go with a 5 in the end, and I really, I can't believe I'm giving Tyler a 5. But he's just so non-responsive to the immediate goals that need to be in front of him.
It just seems like he doesn't really care at all.
Oh, what the fuck? No, not the zip line.
I feel like we've been saying for the longest time,
Well, that's
like,
some bullshit.
okay, maybe Tyler will turn it on. Like, maybe next week he'll, like, pick it up and he'll figure it out, but I just feel like, I feel like if he were to turn it on, he could do amazing. And we saw him in his last season. It was amazing. but I feel like this season he's kind of lost interest and kind of just doesn't really want to deal with it. So, yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't see the end, but you know, maybe he'll come up with something after this week. I don't see him leaving in the triple necessarily. So maybe he'll pick it up. But at this point, I'm gonna have to change my 7 to a 6.
All right. I also went with a 6 for Tyler, and I also considered a 5 this week, Brent. That I know I was a 6 last week, and I keep saying that like he's running out of runway, that he needs to start to pick things up, and I kind of feel like this week he did start to move, but it was just enough to like maintain the 6. Like for me, if he stays put, his rating is going to slowly go down because he's running out of room. And this week was like, you know, the ground is falling out from behind him, and he's just been sitting there in a car as the ground falls out behind him, and then he looks back and he's like, oh look, it's coming at me. Alright, well,
fuck off.
Start moving. He's like barely keeping out in front of it right now. And those things are, he seems to have won David back over. That's good. Yeah, that's good for him. He's losing Christmas, but he hasn't like completely lost Christmas. And if Memphis goes in the triple, which is fairly likely, he'll really have Christmas. So that's good. So those are 2 things. He still has Enzo not wanting to go after him yet. He seemingly had Danny going after Christmas instead of him. Not sure if that's still the case, but it's what I've got right now. So with all that said,
fuck off.
He's just out in front of it right now. He's still alive. He's still honestly one of the more likely winners after Cody and Enzo, but he will need to keep playing hard. I think his ideal scenario is Memphis leaves in the triple, Danny leaves in the triple, and now he's able to pull in Christmas to go after Nicole. He's able to pull in David to go after Nicole. They both put up Nicole and Cody. And like if he locks in those 3 at the final 6, like that's a pretty good place to be. And that's not an unreasonable scenario. In fact, that's one of the more likely scenarios. It's just a matter of, can he maintain that position? Can he really keep David? Can he really keep Christmas? And can that team win the competitions needed to face off against the Cody, Enzo, and Nicole team? And I think it's possible. I think it's there. I see a path. But he's got to start playing to get there, and he's got to have the right triple outcome to get there. And so, you know, we'll see. 6 from me. The audience feel good about Tyler. They feel better about Tyler than we do. They gave him a 7.
Sense, I feel like the audience won't really go below a 7 for Tyler. Have they ever?
I'm not sure if they have.
Christina, check it out.
I've got
Report back.
Tyler, he did get a 6 in 1 week, and he got a 5 from the audience in 1 week.
All right. I stand
That was the week that... What was happening that week? That was the week...
That was the week you tried to quit.
Oh, well...
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the season before. Like, okay, yeah. I thought you were talking about the overall history of Tyler. Yeah. All right. Oops, I'm still... There we go. So there it is. That's the stock watch for the week. That's what we have for you. We'll see where the leaderboard goes, but in the meantime... I forgot what I bought, by the way. I have no clue.
I know, I forgot too.
Well, we'll find out. I didn't forget.
I feel like I bought Christmas. I don't remember.
Yeah.
There's an AI loose in the world.
I don't understand how the fuck you bought Christmas though.
It can't get to you physically, it'll get to you emotionally. We need to find this thing and kill it.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good week for me, but that's
No,
fine.
it's not a good week for
You always say that.
No, this
I think
one really,
everyone
I lost
right?
money this week. I for sure lost money this week.
Did anybody's rating go up? It looks like no.
No.
So it looks like everyone went down.
Everyone is saying
Nobody went up,
down. Nobody went up. I
Some
will
people
say,
stayed the same though.
yeah, like Cody, for instance, got a 9 from us, and he got a 10 last week. He'll still make money in the stock watch, because we're rating them from 1 to 10, and it goes to a formula based on what stock, what their rating was last week and what their price was last week. Cody will still make money. He's just not going to make as much money as he would have if he had maintained his 10.
Oh yeah, so it looks like Cody and Nicole both made money this week, but everybody else lost money. So
That's what happens when a triple comes.
Yeah, seriously.
This is going to be a rough week too with trying to guess the triple stuff.
Oh boy.
All right, well.
Everyone's just going to buy Cody.
We'll see. We'll see.
I thought about buying Cody.
All right, here's the leaderboard has been updated.
Ooh, yay.
Liv back in first place.
Wow.
With a Nicole
Liv is
buy.
good. Liv is always
The top 8 are all people that
Where
went.
have I gone?
No. Oh no. Taryn, you're gone.
Where are you at, Taryn?
Let's
Taryn's
scroll
just
down
gonna
here.
slowly scroll through every single line until it gets to like the thousands.
No, I'm not that
Oh, there we go, okay.
41st place. 41st place here.
Yikes, that's a drop, Taryn.
Yes.
I went up like 400 places.
Oh, there you go. I went in on Christmas. It was not the right call. Not the right
I think
call.
I went in on Christmas too, or not all in, but I think I put some on Christmas.
As you do, yeah.
As I always
There's
do.
Taylor Allen, the third placer in Big Brother 21.
Oh,
Just
wow.
under.
I purchased Nicole stock, and I have $661, and I'm ranked 685 right now. And I'm in the top 25%.
Top 25%
Yay.
from Nicole.
Oh,
That was the
wow.
best buy this week.
That was good
That
job.
could have worked if I
You're
wasn't.
higher
It
than me now,
didn't
but
end
I don't think I did so
up being
well.
right in front of me.
Melissa still above
Oh.
Brent in the top 10%.
Good job.
Yeah. Wait, what did I do? I did buy Christmas.
Let's see here. This week you
Enzo. Oh, you had Tyler, Enzo, and
I gave up
Christmas.
Nicole.
you bought one Tyler, you sold Nicole, and you bought Christmas.
Ugh, what an idiot.
But your holdings on Tyler and Enzo are keeping you in it.
Thank God.
So there you go.
I sold Nicole, and I was like, she's I gotta get rid of these little stocks, and turns out that's what I should have kept. Ugh.
I guess so. I guess that was it.
Anytime I try and do anything creative, this is what happens. I should just leave it, set it, and forget it. That's my stock watch advice. If you want to get in the
fuck
top,
off.
like
That was some
600
bullshit.
people,
Damn
that's
it.
what you have to do. Is just do nothing.
Well, that obviously worked out.
If you want to get in the top 1%, like I can't help you with that. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, well, we'll see where I go from here. A brief
I'll just
glimpse
restart it.
of the sun there for me. All right, so that is the stock watch. Let's talk through
Still
some of
20
the other
minutes left.
questions on the survey. How do you rate the feeds the episodes this week? Last week was a 5.1, this week a 4.9. People are not super happy. How do you rate the feeds this week? Last week was a 4.3, this week a 3.5.
Ooh, is that the lowest it's ever been?
Might be.
Yeah, that sounds pretty low.
Yeah, last week the season as a whole was a 4.6. This week it's a 4.5. So not too much there. I asked
Still
you
hanging in there.
to rank the players from your favorite to your least favorite. Not going to be too many surprises here. But you've got Enzo on top, followed closely by Tyler. Who do we think is in third?
Get ready. It's coming.
Oh, sorry.
David?
Yes.
David is correct.
Wow.
Yes, that's a great call. Wow.
Yeah. David, who was 6th last week, and
The longer he stays, the higher
Right?
the I
I think Rob has it right. Like, by the end of this, we're going to be praying for David.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just feel like it's like if David can survive these next few weeks, I feel like people are going to be... I mean, it's the whole underdog thing. I mean, even if he wasn't doing well the whole beginning half of the season, I think that if he's the one remaining underdog and he's the one remaining outsider, I just feel like everyone's
Oh,
going to
what? They just end up in the other mission?
and, do well. So that's what it looks like.
I'm pretty
Unless
sure
he
he
goes
just
out this
did,
week.
yeah.
So how's this
That's
for
kinda
interesting,
funny.
right?
I didn't mean to.
This is week 8. Week 5, David was third to last, above only Nicole and Christmas.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Week 6, he was 4th to last, only above Memphis, Nicole, and Christmas. Week 7, he was 5th to last, above Danny, Memphis, Nicole, and Christmas. And then this week, he jumped over Kevin and Cody to get to 3rd place overall.
Wow.
So he's been slowly climbing the ranks over the last few weeks.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Soon he'll be number 1.
So Cody is there after David, followed by Danny, then Kevin, Memphis, Nicole, and Christmas at the bottom. I asked strategically, who should Cody have targeted this week? Well, everyone said Kevin. And by everyone, I mean 55% of the people.
Right.
I mean, what else would you do, really?
Yeah.
Christmas was in 2nd place, 17%. Not sure I completely agree with that, but yeah, I think Kevin was the right call. How do you feel about the replay power? Scored 35 out of 100.
Terrible.
I'm surprised it got that high.
I couldn't even believe that either.
I mean, maybe it got that high just because they were like, it didn't really do anything, so
That's
it's
true.
fine.
Yeah, Taryn, these are your voters.
Yeah.
Remember that, yes.
Well, we'll question that when we get to the 3rd of these.
Okay.
How do you feel about the prizes twist? 63 out of 100.
Well,
I actually really liked it.
I like the prizes twist, but I wish, and I know you guys have been over this, and everyone's talked about this ad nauseum, but I wish it was the graveyard one, where, you know, you have the option to pick the prizes, take the prizes, don't take the prizes, people aren't seeing what you're doing. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like the way that things panned out, and especially like the HOH, which we've already seen, you know, and we're gonna see the veto, but like the HOH was so lame, and I hate those golf ones. They're just so boring to watch. Like, it's just like there's no anything to it. It's like I don't like to play mini golf on my own, and I definitely don't like to watch people do it.
I like the mini golf.
I don't know, it's not for me. Maybe you're just into golf. I'm not into golf, so it just doesn't interest me at all. And then the fact that there was just like a prize available was kind of like, I don't know. It's I guess I like the idea that they had the option to pick going for the prize or going.
I love
for
that part.
Yeah. Like I do like that, but I do feel like
veto too. For Dave to go for the 10,000, I love the fact we didn't even talk about this. I just love the fact that he totally bamboozled Enzo and just went straight for the 10,000.
Wait, what?
Right on the first one. Enzo was like I was expecting him to like go, and then like once he was out, then I could have gone for the $10,000. Like once the 2 nominees were out, then I could have gone for it. David said, "Fuck that, I'm going for it now."
You just know that Enzo is just like $20,000 I could have had this week.
Right? Oh.
Man, that's so crazy. But yeah, I mean, I do like this sort of twist, because I do feel like it influences the game, but not in like a bad way. I feel like if anything, like it shows people like, okay, what do you really want? Like, do you care about the game, or like, do you feel like you're in a good enough position to go for a prize versus winning HOH? And I do feel like it benefits the people who are in the minority or in trouble or whatever, because they're not going to go for a prize. Well, except for David. But normally, they're not going to go for a prize, and they're going to have more ability to win versus a normal week. So I do like it overall. If we're going to talk about twists, like this is an interesting one, and I do think that's fun. I just wish that I really do like the graveyard style competition. So I do wish that was included, but you know, whatever.
All right. I asked, how do you feel about the looming triple eviction?
Fuck.
This is where my voters apparently betrayed me.
They betrayed you.
They're so fed up with the season.
58 out of 100, which is
Not
still
what meant to do,
failing
but
great,
fine.
but it's above 50, and that disappoints me, audience.
Look, I think if this was on any other season where I think people were really like enjoying the gameplay or enjoying the people or whatever it was, I think we would see less people enthused about a triple eviction. But I think in this situation, when people are kind of like, let's get more people out so we can see more fun stuff. Like, I just feel like that's probably reasoning behind it.
Melissa, you know what it is. Obviously. Paid shills.
Oh, yes,
CBS is
definitely.
paying this audience to give a better score to their triple eviction. Their opinion doesn't matter because it's obviously paid for.
CBS is like, okay guys, we cannot have a bad rating on Taryn's poll. It
you
just
saw that, right?
cannot happen. they had to hire a bunch of interns.
All right.
Ah, fuck.
Who do you want to be evicted this week? 72% say Kevin. Not surprising.
Yeah.
Who do you want to win HOH next week? David, with 35%.
Wait, what?
Followed by Tyler, with 28%. Only 7% said Christmas, and well, next week is not the optimal time for Christmas to win. Like I said, I do see Christmas as the only person who could theoretically take out Cody. So I'm actually like not seeing a Christmas. Rank the players. So we're finally doing the jury stuff. I forgot to do this last week with Ian. But every week I'm going to ask you guys to rank the order in which you think each jury member is most likely to vote for somebody in the final two to the least likely person they're going to vote for. So that means that the person you put at number one is the person who the jury member will vote for no matter who they sit next to. The person at number two is the person they will vote for no matter who they sit next to, unless it's the person from number one.
Ah, fuck off.
And so on and so forth.
What?
So I asked
That's
about
such
Ian.
bullshit.
Who is Ian most likely to vote for in the final two? Do you guys have, what do you guys
I think Tyler.
What do you think the audience thinks?
I think that he at the end.
I think they said
but I think
Tyler,
Tyler's
though.
probably a close second because he was warning people, hey, this guy's really good. Yeah, and like it'll be the ultimate form of, told ya if he actually votes for him to win the game.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Now the audience says Nicole number one,
Ooh.
followed extremely closely by Cody
Yeah.
number two,
I think it's Cody.
followed extremely closely by Tyler number three.
Yeah.
That basically the three of those are a toss-up, and I think that's fair.
I'm not totally convinced of the Cody thing.
I am convinced of everything.
Ian, sorry, I lost his name for a moment. Ian has shown no animosity toward Cody, in my view. But, sorry, were you going to say something, Terry?
Well, he's really talked him up in the
exit
exit press.
press.
That's
Okay. I
that's where
I haven't read as many as those. But I still think he would vote for the other two people for Cody. So we'll see.
I think it's possible. But I do think that Cody is definitely up there with a shot. I would probably say, like, I don't even know. I think Tyler, Nicole, Cody, maybe. I'm not sure. It depends on how Nicole handles it and how, like, what Devon is saying. So I don't know. But then the audience said Enzo, followed by Danny, then Memphis, Christmas,
Oh shit.
David, and Kevin. I think David and Kevin probably in the right spot there. As of right now, just because of the way that he talked about the inferior players being the ones to take him out, that he did not respect their games, and he was so happy that it wasn't the inferior players that took him out, that it was the good players. So it doesn't seem super likely that he's going to vote for them, unless he's like super bitter, which is also a possibility. Christmas being low.
This is not great.
He said he was disappointed. He was a little bit bitter at Christmas. He did not like how she handled that conversation. Memphis being lower than Danny. I'm not sure about this one. He actually said, he talked a lot about how he appreciated Memphis being straight up with him. Memphis said he was, look, dude, you're smarter than me. That's why you need to go. I'm not sure that Memphis should be this low. Maybe a little bit above Danny. Not sure about Enzo. I don't know how Ian feels about Enzo. So I'd be inclined to put Memphis above even Enzo, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't want to reward, the other Renegades member. Anyway, Devon. Devon's number one, easy. It's Kevin.
Yes.
Followed by David.
Followed by David, yes.
Easy. Followed by Danny, says the audience.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fair based on what we're hearing, that she doesn't really know the extent to which Danny really screwed her over. She may find out, but as of right now, I think that's fair. Then Enzo, which I think is also pretty fair.
Yeah.
Then Cody. Yeah. Then Memphis. I mean, again, I think Memphis was one of the more straight up people with her, and she said that was important. So again, that might do some good things for her. Christmas, pretty low.
Fuck.
I agree with that.
Damn it.
Nicole tied with Christmas actually down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think she would probably do Nicole for Christmas, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then Tyler at the very bottom, which I think is possible, but I could also see Tyler toward the top.
Yeah. It's hard to say because I feel like there's so much time too in between now and then, and also
Interesting that Cody and Enzo right now are talking about targeting Tyler on the live feeds.
Really went down or whatever. So I think that this could be accurate for now, but I think anything can change by the time finale comes around.
Yep.
Ah, fuck.
That's what we got. That's what we got for you.
Nice.
Those are the questions.
By the way, when I heard that what Enzo was doing with, possibly targeting Memphis, I was
Alright,
like,
you know what?
we need to get Hoffman on here. Hoffman will tell us what the hell Enzo is doing, because I have no clue. Like, it's literally one of the most cornball, what we have that I have watched. Highly event.
Oh, fuck.
Done this season, big brother.
That was my
God,
fault.
if he goes through with that.
I mean, thinking about it, like taking out Matt in season 12 was like great move for Hayden. Wasn't that good for Enzo? But like Enzo kind of like got talked into it because he's like, yeah, big move, let's do
I
this.
just don't want so many of these people. I feel like are going to repeat their performance in the first game. Like I literally think Danny's going to end up in his place again after this season, and I don't want Enzo to end up in third place. I really don't. I don't want him because like he's possibly going to go after somebody in Memphis who will take him to the final two in Memphis.
Where's everybody?
At the end and take him into the final two. Not that Enzo is not capable of doing it himself. Obviously, he is this season. But it's always nice to have.
Where the fuck are they?
Or there, here or there. So we'll see. Yeah.
Well, any final thoughts, Melissa?
I'm very excited for this triple eviction. It's going to be definitely an
It's getting glitched. Why are there no enemies?
Week next week, but for now at least, I'm looking forward to it. And also something else to consider that we didn't bring up was the OTEP curse. So, that's something that we didn't think about when thinking about Cody's, likelihood to win.
Cody should have been at 3 this week.
Yeah, we should have all just been like, oh, well, this guy's not
It's
winning.
done.
He's over. He's a 1. If he gets the paddle. No, but
This is
for real,
ridiculous.
I'm very excited for this.
The game
Thursday
glitched, I'm pretty
episode,
sure.
And, we'll see how it goes.
See how it goes.
I can tell you that I'm really thankful for the LFC roundtable being a little bit earlier tonight and going over, because we obviously were early for the presidential debates, because a lot of my friends were literally like texting me during this wetting the bed for like the first half hour of the debate, and now everybody seems to have calmed down a little bit now that we're winding down here. So this is perfect for me, Taryn.
It's exactly how I planned it.
Yeah, I like it.
It's intentional.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you this week. I'll, of course, be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything that happens today and tonight on the Big Brother 22 live feeds. We will also be live tomorrow night with a recap of the veto episode of Big Brother 22, where we will see the OTEV happen. We'll see David take that 10K. Can't wait to see that. And then Thursday, I'll be live on Twitch, twitch.tv/TarynArmstrong, to talk more about the stock watch and how you can lose a bunch of money going in on Christmas. And I'll also be streaming live during the triple eviction to watch with you guys and hang out and chat about what's going on. And then we'll be live after the triple eviction to recap what's been going on.
Wait, those ATV guys just killed themselves?
So check it all out. Brent, where can people find you?
They can find me at Yay, that's one spelled out, O-N-E. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, still got it, whatever, I'm one lucky gay across all platforms.
I hate when because normally I ask people where you can find them, where people can find them, but sometimes I forget and do that during this podcast, and then I get sad because I don't get to go. And you can find It's Melissa. You can find Melissa at It's Melissa with 3 A's.
Yes. And I'd also have a plug.
Well, there you go.
This Saturday, I'm going to be doing a podcast with Yana and Lita and women of RHAP essentially is what it is. And it's going to be talking about gender and reality TV
Fuck.
And we're also going to be doing a tech banking thing where we tell people to vote, and it should be fun. It's like going to be more low-key, more Zoom-y instead of just like, you know, us talking at people. Hopefully people will be able to like come in, chat with us, etc. Maybe bring up some points or different examples of like women in TV. And you know, I'm very interested to talk about Nicole specifically, and you know, whether women can be considered like masterminds, because I do feel like that's something that we always end up kind of discussing. So, and also why the Women's Alliance can't work. Why can't it work?
Melissa, I'm curious, while we're on that point, hey, just has your overall opinion of Ransel changed this season for the better? Because mine certainly has. I'm actually more positive on her, having like really watched her, because I got in and out a little bit sometimes with feeds on 18. And this one, like I've watched every moment, and like she's good, she's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I am more impressed with her because I do feel like, well, at least at the time, I wasn't that impressed with her in Big Brother 16, and then Big Brother 18.
I meant 16, by the way. I meant 16, but go ahead, yes.
Well, yeah, I wasn't very impressed with her in Big Brother 16, and then Big Brother 18, I was like, well, she's not doing anything. Like, she's just getting dragged along. She's not actually doing anything, so I'm not impressed with this. But, I mean, she's doing it again, and I feel like she is doing things. Like, I feel like I can see that she has this strategy, and it's not one that I ever thought that she was doing before. Like, I thought it was all unintentional, but I do think there is intentionality behind all of her moves and all of her decisions. So while she won't own it yet, like, while she won't go in the DR and be like, look, this is what I'm doing and this is why, and I'm a, you know, I want her to be like more like Danny in the DR.
Yeah,
that's not necessarily happening, but I will say that I am like very much respecting her game way more than I did.
It's the intention. That's the thing. Because you've always like I watched the beach obviously, and but like you know, as time goes on, you sort of forget part of it, and then it's like people always talk about the fact that she was just in bed with Corey the entire time, or you know whatever, which is parts of it, but not all true. And but I don't remember as much intention as I see from her this time, where like things that she wants to happen for better or for worse, you know, something like getting rid of Ian, obviously I just agreed with that, but I understood where she was coming from, because you know, Danny wasn't going to support it, and she knew. But overall, I'm really impressed with the game.
That worked?
Yeah, and you can find the sign up for the podcast on my Twitter. I'll retweet it again because I tweeted it out, but you can also find it at the other girls' Twitters as well. It's Lita, Liana, Mari, and Chantel Francis. I always say Sham Fram on the thing, so I always want to say Sham Fram or Sham Fram. Like, I just can't say it any other way just because I always see it on Twitter.
She likes that. Yeah.
And so I was going to say that earlier, and it's like, that's not right, so I'm not going to say it. But anyway, yeah, so I'll retweet that, sign up. It should be really fun and also interesting, so, you know, it's this Saturday.
There you go, and if you want to find that tweet, you can find it at It's Melissa.
Jake won't be using Grandview
with 3 A's.
Yeah.
Just 3.
Damn. I'd love to see his
Thank you everyone for joining us today.
Little torture chamber.
See you next time.
Alright, so that's it for that. Yeah, so it looks like Cody and Enzo are fully on board with getting rid of Tyler at this point.
Always knew you were the real deal. I'll see you back at the
Which is not great for Tyler.
Take care.
Being over whether or not I want to record more tonight. Because I'm not really that tired, but it is already 1:30 in the morning, so I don't know. Because more than likely if I stay, this is something I didn't mention either, is that I do wake up really late today. It's after like 2 nights of staying up till like 3 o'clock playing this, so I might just go to sleep now, even though I'm not that tired, just to kind of hope that I don't get up super early or super late tomorrow. If this will fucking let me select the thing. Oh. I might do one more. We probably will. But, and, that's for Far Cry 5 here. First episode. Yeah, I forgot to mention this. I did watch, I forgot it was 1 or 2 episodes of Ozark today while I was doing the banner. I think 2. I think it was the finale of season 2 and then the premiere of season 3. But, yeah. So, mine's here. Thanks for looking at you on for now. Thanks for watching.